Yo, what is up, everybody? I want to welcome you guys back to my YouTube channel, Tall Guy Hemi. If you can, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. I got some really exciting news for you guys. The motor is installed and the car runs. I had it outside yesterday, letting it absorb some sun. It's been so long. But by the time I posted my last video, I already had the motor dropped in the car. I was just like kind of tightening everything up, and I ran into a few issues here and there, but I'll show you guys what it looks like and then I'll go over a few things. So this is currently how the car sits. Looks really sweet. I had to take out the fog lights on each side so the intake piping can fit. It was like hitting the backside, and I took the rear grill thing out to kind of make the intercooler pop out a little bit more. I think it looks really cool. I don't know, for this, I might reroute all this and then have it come up, come up through here. Because where I cut this out, I don't really like the way that looks. But I mean, it looks sweet coming up through there. Here's the turbo. Looks really good. So yeah. Also, I ended up changing out my turbos. That's a this one's just some cheap eBay GT45. And this one right here, it's a VS Racing 78mm turbo. Right now, I just have a .A1 AR on it. I want to check the spool times and see how it does, see how it reacts. But I'm definitely switching to a .96 here in a couple months. I got to get the fuel system ordered. Right now, it's just on Hellcat injectors and the DW400 fuel pump. I'm not really getting into any type of boost. Just kind of wanted to let the car start up and idle. Make sure everything was good. Make sure there was no leaks, which there was a few. Got those figured out. So yeah, I mean, it was just a work in progress. I'm really happy the way it turned out and everything. I put my catch can up here. Let's see, I got the green belt down here. It's pretty cool. Also for my coolant. So I did a coolant reservoir delete. Personally, it's not going to bother me at all. I keep a really close eye on my temps. All I have to do is just pop this off. I'll show you actually, let you see it. Had trouble getting that cap off, but you can look close so you can see the purple coolant down in there. That's the way I'm going to check it. I'm not really too worried about it. I don't really care about the comments if you guys don't think it's a good idea. I tried to relocate it. I'll show you what I used here. So it was just like a little Evil Energy one. And I tried, so I got the main heater hoses blocked off here, plugged off, and I wanted to mount it like backwards, like back behind this bar here, and just plug up these holes and stuff with the heater hoses. But I couldn't get them on there, especially the bottom one where it was so big. The top one fit, I just cut it, trimmed it up, but I just did the delete. It was much easier. So a few of the leaks that I was dealing with, one was my Hellcat switch plate for the oil cooler on one of my AND fittings. It was leaking. So I took that off, replaced it with another straight, and put a rubber O-ring inside of it to kind of stop the oil from getting behind that. So that stopped the leak, so that's all good. And my other one was, I'll show you guys, it's kind of, I replaced the hose, the water pump's fine. It's just this little screw hole, and I'll probably end up re-tapping it and putting a bigger screw in it to kind of give it a little bit more support, because I'm tired of putting RTV on this thing. So here it is. I mean, it looks like complete shit down in here. I mean, I had coolant coming all out of this because of this little screw right here. It just won't screw all the way in there and hold it down. So I just had to redneck it up or whatever. And it works. I did it with my 6.4 and it lasted like that for the entire time. Here's my gauge setup. I got my wideband and my boost gauge. Everything's working properly. It's pulling, I think, like -10, -11 vacuum on idle, which is pretty good. No issues there. I'll let you guys hear an idle clip here in a second after I get done explaining everything and all this. So here's some more stuff where I cut. I had to trim this up for my old turbo where the exhaust housing was bigger. Even with the .96, it'll still come out a little bit more, so I just freed that up. I might put some like heat stuff right there to keep that from melting. But down in here, I don't know how well you can see it. I had to trim up this, like the triangle area in there for the intake piping. And while I was doing that, I ended up cutting straight through my ABS wire, like the wire for the harness, not the sensor wire. So I had to reconnect that and then buy an all new sensor. Because when I was trying to take the old one out, I had to cut it out. It got stuck, and then drill the hole out, or drill the sensor out of the hole, get all that cleaned up, and then got all that stuff figured out and all that. My ABS light and stuff is still on. Brakes and stuff work fine. I haven't like taken it down the road yet, but just driving it from like here to there, it works fine. But when I start the car, the lights and stuff are still on. So my dad has a really big like scanner, one of them icon scanners, real expensive ones. He's gonna hook it up to this, and we're gonna try to clear the code from that. Because I was reading online, I think that's what you have to do is like go and clear it internally, because it's like a stored code or something like that maybe. So hopefully that fixes it. Either way, I'm gonna take it down the road, really light driving, and see how it does. Get everything warmed up and all this stuff. When the car is idling, I'm having like some mist vapor come out of this. It's a pretty good bit, but it's not oil, it's fuel. It's like vapored fuel coming out of it, and I think it's where everything inside the motor needs to be warmed up and sealed up and stuff. Because the block itself sat for easily a year, and then the heads and stuff was 5 months. All this stuff's like a lot of new parts in there and all that stuff. So everything kind of needs broken in, warmed up, sealed up. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Mac Built, on Instagram. He's a good buddy of Dave's who tunes the car, EFI Specialties. So he's giving me a lot of tips and pointers on different things to do and kind of get this thing running and all that good stuff. So huge shout out to him. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to take it for a spin, hopefully get everything warmed up and get that issue kind of resolved and figured out. So I'll let you guys go ahead and hear an idle clip. It's a warm idle, sounds really good. I love the way it sounds. Next video, I'm gonna give you guys a cold start. I want to get a revision on this thing, a little bit cleaner startup, but it sounds badass. Guys, a lot of content on this thing. It sounds really good. Next up, what I got to get is my 1200cc injectors and the 4 dual fuel pumps and return lines and all that stuff. Once I get that, I'm going to load the car up and trailer it over to Dave, get it on a dyno, see what this thing can make, and I want to get him to be able to dial this thing in 100%, get it in his hands and all that good stuff. After that, I'll probably just enjoy the car. I'm definitely getting an HP90 transmission for it. I'm just going to enjoy it on the stock transmission for right now and see where that gets me. I'm not really worried about making a shit ton of power, because right like around where I'm at, right around like 7 to 900's like the sweet spot for it. So that'll be plenty. One more thing I forgot to mention, I was posting on my social media accounts and stuff. Well, really just Instagram. So when I first started the car up, I actually started it up last week. And I had the wrong map sensor in there. I was running the stock 6.4 map sensor, and Dave had set the tune up for a 3-bar map sensor. I overlooked it in the email when he said the tune set up for a 3-bar. And I don't know why I was like overlooked it, or I was thinking I had a 3-bar. So I went to start the car up, and it was running like dog shit. The air to fuel was all over the place. Fuel was getting left into the cylinders, so I had to pull the plugs and let it like vaporize out and dry out a little bit. I mean, it was just a mess. Like everything was thrown off. Swapped the new sensor in there, 3-bar, runs awesome. So we're getting somewhere, man. I mean, it's a work in progress. I'm super happy with the way it turned out, with the way it looks. Hard work definitely paid off. Always wanted to have a turbo car, and it's finally here. I never thought it would be a 6.2 in there, which is like crazy to me still. Because when I had the 5.7 originally in this, I bought that turbo over there on Facebook like 2 years ago, maybe a little over 2 years ago, and the 5.7 went down. I was like, you know what? I'm super impatient, so I grabbed a 6.4, had an all-motor 6.4. It was like 500 wheel, a lot of fun. And then I was going to turbo the 6.4 actually, just run it on like 5-6 pounds of boost, have Dave tune it, blah, 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 stock bottom end like an idiot. It wouldn't have been Dave's fault. It was just like they're just known to be weak and all that. But the 6.4 ended up dropping a lifter, or the lifter locked up and ate a little bit of the cam lobe. But at the time before that happened, like before any of that stuff happened on the 6.4, I had already bought this 6.2 motor just to have it. I was like, you know what? It might be better off just to boost this. So I started looking into this, and at that time the 6.4 went down, so I just knew that this is the time to throw the 6.2 in there. So yeah, I mean, here we are. And the old 6.4, perfectly fine. I'll show you guys. I sold it to a good buddy of mine. I mean, it's really clean. Got it all cleaned up there. So he actually got the same cam I got, my old cam, not like the one I had in there. He just bought a brand new one of it. He loved the way it sounded and loved the way it ran and stuff. So we got that in there. The motor's in time and all that good stuff. I'm just waiting on a cam bolt, new cam bolt to come in, and a couple other little things, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw the oil pan, get this thing wrapped up and dropped in his car. So when I get this thing all wrapped up and everything and dropped in the car, I want to put this thing on the channel and show you guys what intake setup we're going to run on it, because he's going to run long tubes, all that. It's going to be a full bolt on cam 6.4 on 93 for right now, stock stall. But for the intake setup, it's going to be really cool. I don't think anybody's ever done this style intake setup before. We're just going to try it out and see how it performs. So I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated on that. I'll tag a few people in that video as well for the ideas and all this. So yeah, but I also have another 6.4 build coming up here really, really soon. I'm probably going to go ahead and break this motor down today with a buddy of mine. It's his motor. He just picked it up a couple days ago, actually. So yeah, I'll show you guys. So this is my buddy's 6.4 he just picked up, like I mentioned. We're going to cam it. I'm going to port the intake for him, all the valve train upgrades, all that good stuff, oil pump. He'll be on catless. He's going to keep the stock headers for right now and just throw some catless mids on there. Let's see, but he'll definitely upgrade the long tubes later on. It's a BGE block. It's out of a 2022 6.4. It's got 50,000 miles on it. It's really, really clean. It just needs cleaned up a little bit, you know, just the basics. Let me know if you guys want to see me build that 6.4. I've always thought about doing something like that for the channel. Never really done it. I've just kind of been lazy about it. But I got a really nice tripod that I can set up, just record everything, me doing it, how I do it, just like the whole process for it and all that good stuff. But I'm always working on these motors. Literally, it feels like I'm building one of them once a week almost. I got one 6.4 there. I got a 6.4 there, another 6.4 back there, and a 5.7 behind of me. So yeah, I mean, I love working on this type of shit. It's like adult Legos almost, you know? So just really, really expensive shit. But yeah, so let me know if you guys want to see that. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out this video. Next video is going to be a cold start and all that good stuff, maybe even a POV drive. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out this video. If you can, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.